Onboarding with Walk the World Super and Walk the World Fund. Hello again, it's Martin North from Walk the World and Digital Finance Analytics. And I'm joined by Tim Fuller from Nucleus Wealth, Head of Advice. And of course, he and his team is very willing and able to assist, but he's now going to walk us through the online boarding process and get a sense of what needs to be done. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Martin. Long-time listener, first-time caller. It's great to be on the show.
Appreciate your time, and take it away, Tim. We'll go from the page where people have navigated through from walktheworld.com.au to the specific area relating to the funds.
Okay, sure thing, Martin. Yeah, so that will bring us through to this Walk the World Fund and Super registration page. All we need at this point in time is essentially your first and last name, email, and a mobile phone number. The reason why we get the mobile phone number is because we use this thing called two-factor authentication, which allows us to send you a text message every time you're looking to log in. And obviously you can always tick a box that says, don't annoy me for 30 days, but it does mean that if it's an unknown computer to our system, then we'll pass that person or that login through a validation process. Essentially, you provide that, we send you a link to set your password, and then you can jump back across to the page and put in your password that you've chosen, and then we'll send you this number that you can see being keyed in now. Oh, there you go, 14 days, not 30, so that's fine. So now we're on the front page. There's a terrific Walk the World run-through video that Martin's put together for us, and you can watch that, and then you can jump into popping in some personal details. So at the moment, we're really just looking for just some light details to do with your age, date of birth, and of course the residential address. And then once you've keyed those in, we can jump across to the next screen. Okay, so we're now on the account type selection screen. Now this is really important because it's choosing the type of ownership or account type that you're looking to start with us. As you can see there, we do all the major ones: individual, joint, trusts and company, and then also obviously personal super as well. Once you've selected your account type, you'll jump into our ethical overlays. So as Damien has mentioned in previous shows, we've got the ability for you to tailor your final portfolio using 31 different ethical and portfolio screens. So in the example today, we're going to tick a handful of them, including, of course, the limit Australian housing exposure, which is one of our more popular options for people that are worried about the Australian property market. From there, you can then jump into a variance of different ways in which you'd like to engage with us. So self-directed gives you the ability to choose from our portfolios if you know what you're doing. Limited advice allows us to give you some help. And then full advice gives you an opportunity for us to make a referral to a third-party advisor. We'll go down limited advice today, and as you can see here, there are a number of check boxes which basically just scope out other areas of advice that we can't provide online, but of course we can offer through full advice. From there, we kick off with the amount that you're looking to invest. So today I've just put in 100,000. And then we have a 12-question risk profile, where what we're trying to do is really find out a little bit more information about you, your tolerance to risk, your time frame for investing, any other sort of experience that you've had in investing in the markets, and getting a bit of a feel for how comfortable you are with volatility. Once all that's done, and there's a handy little question at the end, which is a bit of fun on what you would do with if you suddenly won $50,000, and you can brainstorm that one and offer that question as well. We then jump into probably the most valuable page on the portal. So this is our review stage. This gives you essentially all the information about our recommendations. So where you sit on the Nucleus Wealth risk profile triangle or risk triangle, a run through of your responses to the questions, confirmation of your ethical overlays, and then your portfolio that we have recommended for you. So as you can see here, there's been a blending of 3 of our portfolios to get that risk level right. Strategic asset allocation tells you essentially the high watermark of equity or risk in the portfolio. And so essentially, if you're trying to compare us to other sort of style of portfolios, that should make a lot of sense. And then finally, this is what in front of you can see here is actually the full portfolio as we would invest for you today. So it's essentially a live snapshot of what we can do for you. Right at the end there, of course, we've got a breakdown of all the shares that have been taken out due to ethical screening, and then a full breakdown of the fees and charges, both our fee, the platform fee, and also any initial transaction costs for buying the shares, which are, of course, held legally and beneficially in either your name or your super fund's name as well. Finally, of course, if all that looks good, you can jump across to give us the more sensitive details. So tax file numbers, bank accounts, if it's a non-super account for us to pay money back out to you, of course, if you'd like to sell down. We'll take some money out. And then we have got our online verification process, which is actually a bank grade system that's used by major banks. It's all digital, and it means that your important information is held on their servers and not ours. Once you've got all that through, then we can jump into the submit stage. Now, keeping in mind that right up until this point, there's no obligation to invest. Everything you've seen on the screen there today is actually put into essentially documentation, legal documentation for you to read through. So statement of advice is provided, the investment and fee summary, which obviously covers off on the portfolio detail and obviously the fees as well. Look, the interesting part about our system here, Martin, is that this is actually a live document in the sense that you can actually go back now and make changes to any part of your application and rerun these documents. It'll spit out statements of advice all day, and often you'll need to go to an advisor and pay a couple of $1,000s for one. We'll give you as many as you like until you find that you're happy with the solution. There's obviously the product disclosure statement there as well. So if you want to have a read through that, that's Praemium's product disclosure statement. And then finally, of course, if there's any final questions or if there's something holding you up from submitting, very easy to book a phone call with myself or a member of the advice team to answer any of those final questions. We'll give you a call back at an appropriate time and take it from there, Martin.
Terrific, Tim. And what I like about that is it's very, very logically laid out. It's very transparent. And, people can go all the way through the process without committing, so they actually find what they're committing to first. And I think that's actually pretty important. So I appreciate your time today. And if you want more information, you can go to walktheworld.com.au, and from there you can go to the super and fund pages, and from there follow the link through to the application process that Tim's gone through. Tim, I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks, Martin. Cheers.
Cheers.